Welcome back to Raven's Haven. Today, we'll be looking at a quick video from the Modern Investor, and I'll be not just critiquing some of the things that's in it, but I'll also be telling you how I think I'm going to be investing my money in the future into cryptocurrency. So sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's check out the video.
A lot of people back then started realizing that Bitcoin was quite finite. And the discussion came about how many Bitcoin do you need in order to be part of the 1%, basically. As the idea is, as time goes on, more people are going to be buying Bitcoin. As more Bitcoin cannot simply be produced, there is a hard cap. At some point, the daily accumulations would get to a point where there's simply not enough Bitcoin for everyone on the planet. As it stands right now, we are 7.4 billion people. There's only going to be 21 million Bitcoin. Every single person on the planet cannot have an entire Bitcoin. So the news that we had in 2020 was that you needed to have 0.28 Bitcoin in order to actually enter the Bitcoin 1%. This became a very popular number. You can see it on Google. You can see it on Twitter. You can see it everywhere. A lot of people were saying, well, you know what? If you got 0.28, you are part of the biggest holders in the entire world. The idea basically being that I believe roughly there are around 50 to 51 million millionaires on the planet. I think that's the number. Even if they all wanted to have an entire Bitcoin, they could not. It is mathematically impossible for every single millionaire already on the planet to buy an entire Bitcoin. And therefore, if you had 0.28%, you were, or 0.28 of a Bitcoin, you were far ahead.
Which is $14,382.62 at the
This is assuming that we get to the situation where every single millionaire gets in before everybody else. And these are the Bitcoin holders. Some of them managed to get a whole, some of them managed to get a half, but they are the only holders that we have on the planet. We started having discussions about this in 2017, 18, and then definitely in 2019 as well, as we started getting more news back then as to who the largest Bitcoin holders were. So we know that there are people who hold 200,000 Bitcoin, 300,000 Bitcoin, 17,000 Bitcoin. This immediately, if you have 17,000 Bitcoin, you are knocking out 16,999 other people from ever owning an entire Bitcoin. It cannot be done. They will never be able to own this. I made these in a couple of other videos, I think one or two on this channel, but definitely on the other channel as well, where I basically go over the numbers and I'm like, there's this much, there's so-and-so. Where I got to several million Bitcoin that were actually accounted for. And these millions of Bitcoin were not even actually held by everyday people. Like you can see charts where you can see like the actual distribution of Bitcoin, and there's tons of everyday normal people who have tons of Bitcoin and stuff like that, or, you know, anywhere from 0.01 Bitcoin to this much Bitcoin or half a Bitcoin.
Okay, let's go back because I think I wasn't paying attention to something. Is it me, or did he say that it will be impossible for a regular person to own one Bitcoin? Because because, you know, there'll be too many, that like it'll be, you know, used up, and I don't think that's accurate. But let me make sure. Let's rewind a bit, shall we? Let's rewind a bit. Make sure I understand what he's saying here. Okay.
Now, this is when we get into the discussion of who already has Bitcoin. This is assuming that we get to the situation where every single millionaire gets in before everybody else.
Okay, millionaire.
And these are the Bitcoin holders. Some of them managed to get a whole, some of them managed to get a half, but they are the only holders that we have on the planet. We started having discussions about this in 2017, 18, and then definitely in 2019 as well, as we started getting more news back then as to who the largest Bitcoin holders were. So we know that there are people who hold 200,000 Bitcoin, 300,000 Bitcoin, 17,000 Bitcoin. This immediately, if you have 17,000 Bitcoin, you are knocking out 16,999 other people from ever owning an entire Bitcoin. It cannot be done. They will never be able to own this.
Okay. I think he's not taking into account the fact that even if you had that much Bitcoins, and let's say there was a severe shortage of Bitcoins, and the regular people only left with little Satoshis here and there, those Satoshis still add up, and those people who have that excess number of Bitcoins, they still have to spend some of it. They have to sell it and convert it from Bitcoin into another cryptocurrency, or even into the currency of the country they're in. Now, I hate saying this, but you've got some trickle down economics going on with that. They're gonna have to spend some of that. You know what I'm saying? Unless they've invested in multiple cryptocurrencies and they're making their payments using those cryptocurrencies, but they're hoarding and not really spending Bitcoin. So if they're buying like XRP and not XRP, Litecoin and Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies, then yeah, I could kind of see that happening, where there's just not enough to go around, which is actually kind of it's kind of a good thing. You kind of want that, but at the same time, that amount of money in the hands of millionaires, of other millionaires and billionaires who aren't necessarily like government, that's a good thing and a bit of a bad thing, because these guys could wield a certain amount of power. Money gets you that power. So I don't know. I think it is possible for a person, if you bust your ass to get that much, then yeah, I think it could be done where they could get that. Especially if exchanges are still buying and trading Bitcoin. Even if it's just Satoshis, I really think it is still going to be possible for the rich and wealthy to at least get their hands on 1 or 2 Bitcoins. But once again, I'm trying to make sure I understand this and see if I'm understanding exactly what this guy's saying. So let me continue to watch and see what he's saying, because I think I might be wrong on this particular topic on what I'm saying. But from my point of view, I'm thinking, they're gonna be spending it. I know if I had that much Bitcoins, there's upkeep, there's maintenance I've got to pay rent or mortgage or whatever on the house, cars, just living in general. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I said, then again, if I spread my wealth across other cryptocurrencies and then hoarded the big dog currency, which is Bitcoin itself, and did my trading and day-to-day upkeep of living with other cryptocurrencies as they go up and down, then yeah, it would turn into what he's saying. It would definitely turn into what he's saying. Yeah. I think I am forgetting something else, but because something did flash into my head just now, and while I was talking, I lost my train of thought very quickly. But I think, yeah, that makes sense. That if they did it that way, they spread their wealth across other cryptocurrency. Oh, now I know what I was saying. They would still need to have some sort of cash reserve to buy extra cryptocurrencies whenever the price dropped, if they're smart and they don't get scared. Yeah, because too many people get scared once things drop, and instead of looking at it as an opportunity, they look at it as a loss. When the price drops on Bitcoin, That's when you go, yes, the price dropped. Let me buy some more. Buy it. Don't sit back and be like, oh my God, it just went down 50 points. You want it to go down 50 points because you know it's going to go back up 200 points. So calm down. You know what I'm saying? Calm down. But yeah, that's another thing. You know, they've got to have a reserve of either cash or be able to take some currency from some cryptocurrencies and convert those cryptocurrencies into more cryptocurrencies that have dropped in price. So maybe that's a way that they could keep their wealth balancing and keeping their upkeep of their daily life upkeep stable. So it'll fluctuate a little bit up and down, but ultimately their way of life and everything should just stabilize itself and balance out. So maybe that's what he's talking about. Let's continue.
I made these in a couple of other videos. I think 1 or 2 on this channel, but definitely on the other channel as well, where I basically go over the numbers and I'm like, there's this much, there's so and so. Where I got to several million Bitcoin that were actually accounted for, and these millions of Bitcoin were not even actually held by everyday people. Like, you can see charts where you can see like the actual distribution of Bitcoin, and there's tons of everyday normal people who have tons of Bitcoin and stuff like that, or, you know, anywhere from 0.01 Bitcoin to this much Bitcoin or half a Bitcoin. They've been accumulating over the years, and this is the reason why I also have this channel and have had it for a while, to kind of let everybody. I've been talking about Bitcoin since it was around, I think, $900 or $1,000. I do this so that you see where this is all going, because this momentum is not going to stop. We have definitely gotten past the tipping point when it comes to adoption. There's not going to be a slowdown. There's not going to be a point where everyone's like, oh, Bitcoin, I don't like the sound of it, and they stop buying it.
That's not happening.
Is furious. I don't know if I can say that, if that's even correct to say, but it's actually insane how much Bitcoin is being accumulated by the richest people on the planet. So this was the last time that we got an indication of how much Bitcoin you needed to be actually part of the 1% or the largest holders in the world. And I'm going to show you a very shocking number, and I'm going to tell you probably exactly why and how they definitely got to this number. The article says, want to be rich? ? Bitcoin's limited supply cap means you only need 0.01 Bitcoin. I know that sounds insane, but pay attention to the fact that there are individuals who in 2014 told us that they have 200,000 Bitcoin. You are knocking out the possibility of 199,999 other people from ever being able to hold an entire Bitcoin. We go over this quite often on this channel simply because I need people to really get it. When you talk about the accumulation, there are 900 Bitcoin created per day, and we know for a fact that there are 3 companies who are buying around 2,700 Bitcoin per day just for their portfolios. We get news every now and again that another company, we had one this morning, that a company purchased, I think, $17 million worth of Bitcoin. Last week, it was another one for $15 million, $14 million. These things add up. We usually, in the news, is that this company bought around 328 Bitcoin, maybe 175 Bitcoin. And I think these numbers sound low to people because they're not understanding the significance of any company. They're not understanding any entity or any person having more than one entire Bitcoin.
Exactly. The people are not getting it. When they hear the $17 million worth of Bitcoin, they're not getting some people are not getting it. Yeah, they bought 17 million once the price dipped low. Right now, let me take a quick look. All right. Yeah. Right now, one Bitcoin is $51,000 in change. $51,459.07. Just a few hours ago, it was at 41,000 and change. All right, 41,000 and change. Now it's at 51,000 and change and rising. Yeah, and rising. So people are not getting that. These people are making money exponentially. You could do this too. It takes a little work, it takes a little gumption, and as Optimus Prime once said, takes a little energon and a lot of luck. In this case, the luck will be hard work and looking at all the ups and downs of the particular cryptocurrencies you're interested in. You learn why and how they function and then move forward accordingly. You look at the trends, you look at the highs, the lows, and you move forward accordingly. A lot of these rich multi-millionaire people who are cornering the market in Bitcoin itself, and even in few other cryptocurrencies, they are looking at those trends. You need to do the same thing too. We all do. I need to do that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a poor guy. I don't have that much money. I'm trying to stockpile some money so that way I can invest a little here, a little there, and maintain. So far, it's been working out for me. You know, it's been working out. I'm not super rich. I'm not anything. I'm a poor bastard, but I maintain. You know what I'm saying? My upkeep, I look at what my upkeep is. I look at what I owe, and I make sure I get those leveled out so that way I don't owe anything. You know? So that's what these people are doing, and that's what I really think a lot of people out there could, you know, benefit from. You know? Now, far be it for me to be telling anybody anything. I ain't no financial advisor. But hey, I'm just looking at this stuff. I'm a regular guy trying to figure out what the hell is going on so that way I could keep ahead of the curve. Because many people don't give a damn. They only care about themselves. You know what I'm saying? You've got some people who actually care, and they're out there saying, hey, look it, get in now. This is about to happen. This is about to blow up. Get in now. You need to listen to some of these people. Those are rare people who are sitting back saying, hey, look, I'm gonna be wealthy. I want everybody else to at least have a comfortable life. Look in on those type of people. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these videos, I like watching them. You know, I'll sit back and you'll see I've got Destiny in the background right now. I'll be playing Destiny and I'll listen to this, you know, and yeah, I'll make my own investments as best I can. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's go on. Let's continue.
The moment you have 2 Bitcoin, you are knocking out a huge percentage of people. That is, even if you fractionalize this to the 0.28, that's roughly
a couple of Satoshis.
Around 7 people on the planet who will never, ever be able to own the 0.28 of a Bitcoin. Then you go even further. If you have 10 Bitcoin, if you have 15 Bitcoin, if you have 1,000 Bitcoin, you see how quickly this tumbles out of control. So when I saw this, I was like, 0.01 is kind of crazy. But then the numbers really do add up as far as if you are going to be part of the Bitcoin elite, the Bitcoin wealthy, as it were. This is 1 million Satoshis. You wouldn't believe the amount of discussions that I've had with friends as to the potential, no one knows, future buying power of just 1 million Satoshis.
Yes. Yes. That's part of the key. Right there, the Satoshis. Governments of the world governments and corporations, they're going to corner the market on Bitcoin, a full Bitcoin. But they do have upkeep and they do have spending costs that they have to use some of that to spend, which goes into, I hate saying it, trickle down economics. A bit of trickle down economics. Because they're spending, they're going to trickle some of those Satoshis out. That's where the regular people get it, and that's where the new currency falls into place. Where people they're already coining terms such as stacking sats. Yeah, I'm stacking my sats, my satoshis. I'm stacking my sats. It's already becoming a hip type of thing to do, and that's going to be the new mainstream, where one satoshi is like $1 or something, or half of $1 or something. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to get to that point where, oh, I've got 1,000,000 satoshis. That's like $1 million. So it would behoove people to start putting some money into it. I always tell one or two of my layman friends who don't know much about cryptocurrency, I'm like, hey, just take $100. Hell, even $50. Put it in Bitcoin. Buy $50 worth of Bitcoins, which is, I don't know how many satoshis. You can look that up. Buy $50. Buy $100, something, and just let it sit there. Let it sit there. Look in the cryptocurrency space, learn about it, see how it all works. And then, if you feel confident enough, you invest as much as you're willing to lose. All right? Now, I know we're poor. A lot of people are poor. They're like, I ain't willing to lose even $10. I get it. Believe me, I get it. But you need to take that chance. You really got to. But then again, it's not even taking a chance if you're doing your homework. Once again, I just said it a few minutes back. Do your homework on the cryptocurrencies you find intriguing. Learn about it. Learn how it ticks. Learn what makes it go up, what makes it goes down. And then once you feel comfortable, you invest a little bit of money. You have that on the back burner. You just set it and forget it. Don't touch it. Every now and then, if you want, you could throw some more money into it. If there's an emergency, pull some out. That's it. Just leave it in there. Watch it a little bit. Check out the highs, the lows, things of that nature. You know? And you check out the highs and lows and just watch it, because the satoshis are going to be the new currency, not Bitcoin, not the whole Bitcoin, or not the whole cryptocurrency. It's going to be parts of the whole cryptocurrency. That's going to be the part where people are going to be making money. That's what you want to focus on for the time being. If you can, if you can make an entire coin worth of it, do that. Go for it. Go for the gusto. My boys are all most of my boys are all ready. They are all ready. So I don't have to worry about my boys. My boys are they good. They good. My boys, my peeps, my boys, they are ready. They ready to go. They out there knocking it out. Me, I'm up there. I'm doing my Rocky training. I'm doing my little match. So I'm doing it. I'm putting my little bit of money here and there. I'm saving up. I'm taking care of business. Doing my little things. The rest of my boys, they set. And I want the rest of y'all to get set too. So, like I said, do your homework, invest, check it out. Let's keep going on.
Having discussions now, if we are currently at a $50,000 Bitcoin, it is safe to assume, or rather we have gotten indications from the largest banks on the planet, that Bitcoin this year, 2021, could potentially hit anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000 per Bitcoin. If Bitcoin is currently $50,000, to buy a tenth of a Bitcoin, you need $5,000. To buy 0.01 Bitcoin,
not that much for some people.
You need $500. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm not saying this to have my nose raised in the air or my pinky. It's more of I personally do not know many people who can actually afford to put 500 into anything right now, that's not their rent.
Exactly.
That's not groceries. That's not childcare. That's not school. That's not transportation.
That's right.
And then you talk about the actual idea of Bitcoin going to 100,000. Well, how many people do you know can simply go, I think I'm gonna put an extra 1,000 that I have lying around to buy 0.01 of a Bitcoin. It doesn't seem that logical. There's something also called crypto vanity, which I've discussed other times on the channel. It's kind of how like years ago when Bitcoin was around $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 and Bitcoin was in the news and everyone was like, oh my gosh, I want to buy some Bitcoin. And they go to the website and see that they can't buy an entire Bitcoin. So what do? They start buying other altcoins. A lot of people still do this because they see the altcoins as it's less expensive. I can buy 300 of those as opposed to 1/1000th of a Bitcoin. Why would I want to do that kind of thing? And it's usually because people don't understand where this is all going and exactly how finite Bitcoin is and how much Bitcoin is being accumulated every single day. There are charts in this article as well that I also made larger so you can also see, because I have a very strange feeling that if we are talking about a potential $100,000 to $300,000 Bitcoin this year, and JP Morgan, I believe, said last year that this year, or 2022, that we could see a $600,000 Bitcoin. Now, understand these numbers are just numbers that they kind of throw out there. They have, of course, done their own research. They don't just simply put out these numbers because they like the sound of them. They do it because they're trying to inform other institutional and rich investors, hey, this is the price. This is where it could be going. If we're talking about a $500,000 Bitcoin next year, that usually indicates that by the next halving around 2024, we could be seeing a $750,000 to a $1 million Bitcoin, roughly around that number. If we get
now, we already see Bitcoin itself shooting up through the sky. Okay, it goes down every now and then, but once it goes back up, it usually doubles. Takes one step back, 2 steps forward. That's something I've noticed. I've also noticed that whenever Bitcoin itself goes down, Ethereum kind of goes down also. Maybe not at the same exact rate, but it does go down a little bit. I have noticed that every so often. So you gotta check that out too. But it's like I was just saying, if you could just invest $100 into Bitcoin and buy $100 worth of Bitcoin and $50 worth of each of this additional altcoin. Even you won't be a millionaire, but you'll have enough that your upkeep, your daily life of upkeep, will be paid for, and you don't have to worry too much about, oh, where am I going to get some money? I need some extra money. You're working, if you are working, because I know right now a lot of people aren't working, but if you are working, you can invest that. Not to mention that once stimulus check comes through, yeah, let me tell you, if people are investing in that, if people are taking their stimulus check and buying cryptocurrency, it's going to go up. It's going to go up. And they're talking about that people are supposed to be receiving checks around April, somewhere around April, if I'm remembering right. I don't know what's taking them so goddamn long, but whatever. But once that happens, people are going to be making, cryptocurrency is going to go up. It's going to go right through the roof in some cases. Right now, I have some Bitcoin. Got $60 or $70 worth of Bitcoin, and a whole bunch in XRP, which I actually used some of the XRP up because I needed to spend some money for some emergency situations. But I'll put some of that back when I get my paycheck, and I'll also be putting a lot of that stimulus money into it. So my thing was I was going to take some of it, put it into XRP, and some more into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and some into Litecoin. And then whatever I have left, just sit on it. Sit on it. 'Cause I've got a move coming up soon, so I'm just gonna sit on it. But yeah, I would advise people to just try and invest. Try and invest so that way, you know, you could keep your upkeep going and make your money make more money for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Invest some of that money. Don't just go off and spend it or spend it on, you know, unless you absolutely have to. You know, if you absolutely have to spend it, then yeah, you know, you've got to spend it. But if you could just save some of it and just put it in something, then do that. You know, you want to try and build some wealth, because there's a lot of crap coming down the pipeline, and it is not pretty. It is not pretty at all. All right, let's start it up.
To $1 million Bitcoin, this usually means that Bitcoin has nearly devoured gold. The idea being that people will start selling off their gold, which we know is already happening because we've had reports from the banks, to push that gold money into Bitcoin.
Okay. That's something I don't quite agree with. You always want physical wealth. Gold and silver, platinum, titanium, cobalt. Those materials are very useful to have if you can afford it and if it's legal for you to own, which some materials are, you know, not legal for you to own. I think plutonium or something like that. A friend of mine was he's trying to make a point and make a joke about, oh, why don't you just own some plutonium? I was like, dude, it's illegal. Okay, come on, stop. But yeah, gold should be something that if you can get gold and secure it and keep it secured, that way you can always get to it. That's an intrinsic value that always there. It's always there. The value of the gold is the gold itself. You can go to any country, any place, and turn that gold in to the currency of that country. And that's your wealth right there. All right? Always. Now, I can understand if they're converting some of it into Bitcoin, because think of Bitcoin as gold, Ethereum as silver, and everybody's fighting for third place right now. Litecoin looks like it's something big. Ethereum, Litecoin, and XRP, and I think a few others, Cardano, I think, or something like that, look like they're vying. There's a lot that are vying for third place. So yeah, you want to look out for those. Like I said, if I had, let's say if I had 32,000, I would spread yeah, I would spread probably about no. Yeah, say about 25,000 across everything from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, and I think Cardano, if I'm remembering right. Either Cardano or something else. It was something else that I saw that I was very interested in, but I haven't heard much from it. I think it's Dash and Maker. Dash, Maker, Neo, Monero. That's it, Monero. Those look very, very promising. And Cardano also looks promising, but right now I haven't heard anything going on with it right now. It's only at $1.12, $1.12. Polkadot and Dot Up, those two are interesting also. I would spread some of that across them. And then the rest, I would just sit on the rest of the money and just utilize it slowly. Use it slowly and utilize it slowly. And then wait for an instance where the prices dropped. And once the prices drop, buy some more. You know, that's the whole key. It's the same thing with stocks. Buy low, sell high. Just do that. It's the simplest thing. Buy low, sell high. Make sure you spread it out. So that way when one goes down, the other one goes up. You can pull from the one that goes up a little bit and put into the one that goes down. So that way when the one that goes down goes back up, you'll have twice as much. It's all a balancing act, you know, constantly balancing. So that's what I'm looking at right now. And that's what I'm trying to see if I could do. Like I said, man, I get that stimulus check. It's 1,400. Oh, man. Dude, are you kidding me? I'll take at least 400 out of that, and just boom, Bitcoin. Another 400, boom, XRP. 200, Ethereum. And then the rest of it, I'll just sit on it. Spend a little bit if I have to for upkeep of life, you know, paying bills or whatever, buying food, you know, take care of the little kitty over here, you know, little things like that, you know. But all the while, sit on it. Make sure I look at what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, my peeps are ready. They're ready to go. I'm ready. I'm almost ready. I'm not totally, but I'm almost there. Another month, maybe 2, I'll be there.
And eventually people start selling their homes and other things like that, also pushing it into Bitcoin as well. If we get to a $250,000 Bitcoin, according to that Swiss bank, Bitcoin will be large enough and or strong enough to potentially supplant the US dollar and move it to the side and become the potential new world reserve currency at 250,000.
Now, for my SCP fans, that's called an XK dominance shift. That's an XK dominance shift. When Bitcoin or cryptocurrency supplants the currency of an entire country. US dollar is now the secondary. It's now the secondary, you know, it's a second class citizen. The dominant is Bitcoin. And it's looking to be that way. Especially with what's going on with XRP. It would be very bad for the United States to not classify XRP as monetary. I believe it's a monetary that they're looking at it. Property, a monetary, property or cash. It would be very bad for them to rule against XRP, because we're gonna need something like XRP. So for them to rule against XRP, it would really be us shooting ourselves in the foot, while all the rest of the countries are putting jet boots on their feet. We're shooting our feet while the rest of the countries are putting jet boots on their feet and blasting ahead of us. So, yeah, I'm just praying America doesn't do that. So we'll have to see where that goes.
If we're talking about a $500,000 Bitcoin, how much stronger are we already from the 250,000 before, where the US dollar was already able to be kicked over? If we're talking about $1 million Bitcoin in the next 3 years, what does that mean for the next 30 years? Where does Bitcoin's price go from there? People won't simply stop buying into Bitcoin because it's too much. They'll simply be trying to acquire more and more of it every single day because they see how high that it's going. And this thing kicks into the mind that says, I wish I had got it before. Let me buy some right now.
Exactly.
I mentioned many other
My God, dude, me and my peeps, we were there. We were there when Bitcoin was $1 a coin, when it was 50 cents a coin. We were there. So you could imagine we're kicking the shit out of ourselves. All right? we could have bought so many Bitcoins back then. Oh man, this is the one rare time where I would say I would want to do time travel. There's very few. I hate time travel. I hate the concept of time travel. I like the sci-fi stuff with time travel, but I hate time travel because there ain't been no time in history where black people were pretty much safe. So at least that's what I feel. And I don't want to go too far back. Yeah, but yeah, man. If I could go back in time and do like Quantum Leap and jump back into my body when I was younger, with the knowledge I have now, oh my God, I would so take advantage of all the knowledge I have now. But he's absolutely right. There's a lot of people that are sitting back saying, if I had known then what I know now, I would have invested. Don't let that happen to you. Don't let that happen to you. This is a prime space. Cryptocurrency is a prime space for you to get in, make some money, get out. Or get in, make some money, and stay in. And keep making money. But you gotta do your homework. You have to do your homework. If you don't do your homework on this, you're gonna wind up losing money because you didn't know the ins and outs. I'm not saying I know all the ins and outs. I'm not a financial advisor. As everybody always says, I'm not a financial advisor, but this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like it's going and everything. So this is just me saying, hey, this looks very interesting. I think everybody should try and look into it and get in on it. But with that said, I'm gonna end this video commentary right now. And don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the little red bell icon button so that way you get notified whenever I put up a new episode. But until then, see you later.